Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Keeneland on Sunday is the Grade 1 Spinster Stakes for fillies and mares. Let's take a look at this field. It is a big field, and they're going 1 1/8, and the number 6 Lockdown at 3-1. A 3-year-old filly taking on older horses for the first time. Looks like the one to beat.
Yeah, maybe she is. I mean, she's got a couple of figures in her recent races that suggest she's going to be pretty tough in this race. She ran really well, I thought, in the Mother Goose 3 starts back. Even though she didn't win that race, I thought that she ran well after trouble at the start. And I don't know what you thought about her cotillion, Dan. I thought she ran well in that race, too. I guess, the early challenge that Abel Tasman brought to her there, I mean, it probably wound up costing her at the end. I still thought that she ran a good race.
First half mile was a dream run for Lockdown. Yeah. She was able to get to the lead and control the pace, and then nothing Luis Saez can do, and favorite Abel Tasman came rolling up to confront this horse 3.5 furlongs to go. And that's when they started racing, down towards the inside. And Lockdown fought hard all the way down to the wire. She tried very hard. You can argue that the 3-year-old filly she faced in the cotillion, a better bunch than the older horses she's facing in the Spinster. What do you think of her ability at 1 1/8? Do you think this distance is in her wheelhouse?
I mean, I think that she can get it. I don't think she's, necessarily anyway yet shown that she really wants to go 9 furlongs or beyond that. She might be a little bit better going shorter, but I'm not going to say that she can't get the 9 furlongs. She's just going to need the right trip to get it.
But lots of trouble in the Kentucky Oaks, trouble in the Mother Goose. I thought sort of a weird ride in the Alabama. She had 5 bullet works off the layoff. I thought she was going to be utilizing the tactics in the cotillion. She was taken back, and that didn't work out against some very good ones in a late Knit Tiswell, and then the good effort in the cotillion. Her merits are obvious. She is 3-1 on the morning line. I want to see what the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector has in store for the fillies and mares in the Spinster. We've got the 2 Catalust at 50-1 stretching out there on the lead, the 7 Turkish Tabby at 20-1 out there, and the 4 Duchess of Duke at 50-1. 3 big long shots, and Lockdown sitting in a garden spot in 4th.
Yeah, that would be a pretty nice trip for Lockdown if she could get that one. I do sort of look at her now and think, they don't need to send her to the front like they did last time, but I hope that they try and get forward again with her. I think she's better when she's sort of more involved early. I don't like it when they take her back off the pace.
I think of the horses in the first flight of the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector, you might want to at least consider the 7 Turkish Tabby underneath, at the very least at a gigantic price. We have not seen this horse since March and is now making the first start for Brendan Walsh, who's just having a tremendous season. I think it says something that Walsh is willing to run this horse in the Spinster off the layoff, stretching out 3 furlongs. And I liked her race last time out at Golden Gate Fields, where she stayed inside. She came out late. She was running. She's earned some good figures. She can be forwardly placed. She has a bit of upside. 20-1 on the morning line, maybe underneath.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is the kind of race where I don't think you want to be too hard on the horses who are really big prices on the morning line. This is not the strongest field in the world. A horse like her, I mean, she doesn't really need to improve all that much to be able to go with these horses. She just has to be able to run her best race on dirt. I don't see why she can't do that.
The last time the number 8, Bar of Gold, moved from a synthetic to a dirt track, she won by 18 lengths in the Empire Distaff over a sloppy track that she absolutely adores. Yeah. She is 5 for 6 lifetime on wet dirt tracks, 0 for 11 on fast dirt tracks. Yeah. But she's in good form. She took on Amiz Mesa, who's pretty good, prepping for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint last time out in the Masters. The filly she beat last time out came back to win a stakes race at Presque Isle Downs on Thursday. Her win in the Yaddo was solid. It looks like John Kimball's gotten this 5-year-old good again. I got question marks about the 1 1/8.
Yeah, the distance is a real concern for her. And also, she's sort of held her own in Graded Stakes company right along. But boy, she has trouble in these races, has trouble winning these kinds of races. So I think those are the things that you're really concerned about. Is she good enough to win this race? Yes, she is. She's just going to need the right kind of trip, and she's going to have to show up with her very best race.
The 11 Romantic Vision beat 3 of these common foes last time out at Churchill Downs, the Grade 3 Locust Grove Stakes. She just had a dream run.
I mean, it was a really nice ride from Brian Hernandez. He just sort of sat in behind the lead the entire way. When the pace setter stopped on the turn, he moved up into that spot, and then he got through on the inside in the stretch, and she did the rest. She was best in that race, even with the good trip, I thought. I thought about picking her on top in this race. I mean, I think that she could easily win right back in this race. She's sort of, the thing is, she's not going to be a great price, I don't think. We'll see how they bet the race. She's sort of an in and outer, though. There are so many races on her card where all of a sudden she just won't show up with anything at all. And it makes me really reluctant to take her at anything, like 5 or 6-1 in here. We'll see how they bet the race.
Blue Prize, very consistent, never out of the exacta from 8 lifetime starts. She was second in the Locust Grove. It looked like James Graham was trying to win the race about 2.5 furlongs from home. He thought for a minute that the winner would get boxed in behind Brooklyn's Way. It was a tiring pace setter. The next thing you know, he's confronted from the outside by Mo Damour after putting Brooklyn's Way away. Puts Mo Damour away, but couldn't hold off the rail rally from Romantic Vision. It was a solid effort from Blue Prize. I think Blue Prize at 1 1/8 might be able to turn the tables. I think this is her distance.
Yeah, of the 4 horses exiting that Locust Grove, maybe she's the one that you want. The distance probably really does help her. And, you know, at the end of the day, she's run really well in all 4 of her starts over here. She hasn't won any of them. I don't know. I have a tough time looking at horses like her, though, with, 8 starts, 6 seconds. It's pretty troublesome for a horse who's not going to be a great price.
Tiger Moth finished 3rd in the Locust Grove. She came with a run, and she might have been compromised by a lack of early pace in that race. It broke a mini 2-race win streak, but that's what she is, right? Sort of a mid to high 80s buyer, and there are others in here that can run those 90 buyer speed figures.
Yeah, it just feels like, if she just runs her typical race, she just might find 1 or 2 who are faster than she is, but she's pretty solid and consistent. She runs every time. She's going to be trying to close at the end of this race, so she will want some pace to develop in front of her.
Couldn't find the excuse for Mo Damour, who loomed outside of Blue Prize, turning into the stretch of the Locust Grove and then just flattened out. Now she has to deal with an extra 1/16 of a mile in a terrible post position.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty hard to turn the tables on those horses, unless you just want to say, you know what? She was 3 wide throughout. The winner just saved all the ground, got up the inside, and it made the difference. I don't know if I'm looking at it that way, but it's possible.
The 1 Martini Glass gave multiple champions Songbird a little bit of a scare in the Grade 1 Delaware handicap at 1 1/4, only beaten a length. She came back at Thistledown. She ran 2nd again, but the winner of that race, Money's on Charlotte's okay. Yep. She came back to run a well-beaten 2nd in the Belle Dame behind a late with an 85 buyer speed figure. The turf to dirt move has been very productive for this barn in the past.
Yeah, turf to dirt could work for her. I don't think you want to hold the last race against her. I mean, if nothing else, I don't know if she can, if she's going to wind up being a Grade 1 winner. But if nothing else, she's in really good form this year.
The number 3, You Know 2, beat next out 78 buyer speed figure winner Indian Paint at Delaware, but in slow time.
Yeah, slow time, but at least she showed she can get the 2 turns in that race, something she hadn't done before. She's going to have to improve doing that.
Only beaten 2 lengths by It Tis Well earlier this year, however, in the Delaware Oaks. Big price we saw in the pace projector out there on the lead, Catalust, one of the Luch runners in here. I believe Luch has 3 in this year's edition of the Spinster. A limited positive data from a formulator fact standpoint for the 2 Catalust, 25%, 260 ROI for this barn, stretching out over the past 3 years on dirt off of a mini layoff. This horse has been in very good form against Ohio-bred company in the last 3 races and wasn't disgraced at 1 1/8 last year.
Yeah, we'll see if she can handle the stretch out against some better horses. She looks like a pace factor.
Luch owned the horse that beat her last time out, Proper Discretion, who came back to win a state-bred stake at Thistledown with an 87 buyer speed figure. The 4 Duchess of Duke will make her dirt debut. She has campaigned exclusively on synthetic and turf throughout her career while based in Canada. Here's a formulator fact for the same barn. Trainer Anthony Reaney, synthetic to dirt, older horses past 3 years, good numbers, 46%, 366 ROI. Took on the streaking Amy's Mesa that we talked about earlier on, who has now won 4 races in a row. Came out of that race to win 3 more graded stakes races. What about her with the blinkers on?
Yeah, we'll see if she can, just show up and run her very best race on dirt. She's a total unknown on the surface. As far as her pedigree goes, she's supposed to be fine on the main track. None of the races that she's run to this point make her a huge contender in this race.
Luch also has Factory of Faith going turf to dirt. She won the last time she stepped on dirt, but against weaker in slow time at Thistledown.
Yeah, not just another horse from these connections that feels like she has to improve to win.
A Place to Shine scored first time for Benny Perkins at Parks last time out over a wet track. Versatile running style, but again, slow on paper.
Yeah, she's got to improve to run. I liked the race that she ran last time off the trainer change, but if she runs that race, she's not winning.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 1 Spinster Stakes. Lockdown, absolutely the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think she is. I just didn't really love the alternatives in this race. I'm not, I got to say I'm not her biggest fan, but I feel like this is a really good spot that Mott's found for her.
Mike's going to go with the number 6, Lockdown, in the Grade 1 Spinster. I like Blue Prize. I mean, Mike makes a very good point. 6 seconds from 8 starts, not encouraging, but this might be a Grade 1 in name only this year, the Spinster. I think this is a good spot for Blue Prize. I think she had to work a little bit that second, third quarter at Churchill, and I like her in the 1 1/8. I'll go 10, 6, 7, and 11 in the Grade 1 Spinster, the feature race at Keeneland on Sunday. If you are betting that card, please consider DRF Bets, because a $300 sign-up bonus is just waiting for you at drf.com/fall when you use the promo code FALL300, and the Spinster has an approximate post time of 5:45 Eastern. Good luck.